Hello, and welcome to another episode of Hacking with Friends. Today I have my friend Skeeter here. Oh,
What?
I'm sorry. The hat had me confused. I thought your name was Skeeter. This is actually my friend Michael, a production gremlin who's wigging out with all the controls and has joined us today to talk a little bit about Shodan.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully I'll learn something from you about Shodan. I don't really know that much about it other than that it's like some kind of search tool or some shit.
You know more than that. No cursing on the show. I'm so sorry.
PG-13.
Yes.
We get one shot each show. I guess I had to use it early this time.
It's reserved for me yelling at computers.
Yeah.
We are so sorry, everyone. Okay, so today Skeeter and I are going to take a look at...
Who are you?
I'm Kody.
You're Kody.
Yeah.
Cool, okay.
Sorry. I'm Kody. This is Skeeter. And we are going to go ahead and actually look into Shodan and what you can do with it. So, what do you know about Shodan so far?
Yeah, basically it's like some port scanning Google search type thing, right? Like,
You have all the right words.
yeah, okay, just some combination of those words.
Yeah. So, port scanning, yes. Google, also yes. This is basically something that is able to act like Google, but Google just looks for websites that are presenting themselves as available on certain ports that are associated with web content. We are going to be digging into everything. So let's say that Google wasn't necessarily in the business of just providing access to websites. Instead, they wanted to provide access to everything out there. They wanted to scan the internet and show you exactly what was really there. Well, that would actually be kind of like a super Google, but the average user probably wouldn't know what to do with it. So Google was like, let's not be super Google, let's just be regular Google, and thus Google was born. Did you know that that's how Google started?
Really?
No.
No.
However, a niche was left because Google decided to be Google, and Shodan decided to be Shodan. Now, so your guess was that Shodan is some sort of port scanning Google tool?
Yeah.
Well, Shodan is actually a rogue evil AI bent on the destruction of humanity. So you're wrong.
Someone should stop it.
Well, play System Shock and you might just get a chance to do that.
Okay.
All right, but if you're not playing
That's
System
next
Shock...
week's tutorial.
Yes. Next week's tutorial is just us playing System Shock. But if we're not talking about that Shodan, then the service Shodan came up because basically there was this huge hole where nobody was doing the actual port scanning and bringing it together the way that Google does, or even in a way that people could understand, because all this information was out there, but it was really difficult to interpret, and it was also kind of difficult to find. You could do dorking, but as Michael mentioned last time, there is the incentive for Google to take really bad things off the internet, meaning, if someone asked them to take it down, then suddenly, poof, it's gone. So you can manually scan the internet, but one of our friends, Dan, who goes by Vis, I believe tried to do this and then received a bunch of messages from the US government that was like, don't ever scan us again.
Oh, really?
And port scanning is not a crime in Germany. But, there are some ranges that you might not want to scan. So if you just don't know what's out there and you're looking for something in particular, scanning the whole internet, A, is an endeavor. B, will get you probably a message from your internet service provider, because all of the internet will reply back to you. And you also might get some attention from various military and law enforcement agencies that just don't appreciate being port scanned. They want to know why you're port scanning them. And there are lists that people have to know about in order to get into doing widespread port scanning to avoid triggering this sort of response.
And on a little bit more basic level, what is a port and port scanning? Just for people that may not know.
On the internet, a port is like a little door that can be open, closed, or ajar, depending on the settings that are behind it, the firewall settings or kind of what the computer has decided is going to happen for that port. So every computer will have some ports open. This is just necessary in order to get internet. You need to have ports open to send and receive requests to download data. But really, ports that we're talking about here are services like SSH, which is a login protocol, FTP, which is file transfer protocol. So this is going to be like file servers, and anything else that might be interesting. So when we're looking for interesting ports, we're looking for devices on the internet that are connected on ports where we maybe have some metadata to tell us what that is. So if we're looking for boat controls out in the ocean, we might know a little bit of metadata associated with that allows us to track it down if we have a service like Shodan that has already scanned all of everything. So now Shodan, if you live in a country where you're not legally allowed to port scan like Germany, is basically there to do all the port scanning for you. And then you can just subscribe for a low cost and just be able to do all the searching you want through their database. And you're not in trouble because you're not the one doing the port scanning.
And just to make sure I understand this, so basically they just generate a list of all the public IP addresses that could exist, and then they go to each one and scan for all the possible ports? Or is it like a little more technical than that?
It is hooked up to an artificial intelligence that is high on drugs.
Very interesting.
Yes. I don't know how they do it. I'm sorry,
Black magic.
It goes... I would ask Shodan. I imagine they probably document the way they scan stuff. I don't want to tell you something wrong, but as far as I know, what I said is how they do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so basically they're able to go and just do... I mean, you can do mass scan, Nmap, and do these exact same scans. As I said, you're just going to get like an email from a lot of people, including your internet service provider, and some stuff might get hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not fun getting letters from the NSA.
Yeah, from the NSA, your internet service provider, and then like your router your router catches on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that's what Tor's for, though. The VPN.
No, it wouldn't help.
Really?
Yeah, it would still get hot. In fact, probably more so, because the packets would be bigger.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, so is this even a possible form of denial of service attack?
We'd have to talk to this. Like, there's so much weird stuff you can do with port scanning. Like, that dude's been all over the internet. So if you want to know more about that, go check out @this on Twitter, because that dude has done all sorts of port scanning, interesting stuff. But yeah, so we should ask him at some point. But I don't know. Stop asking would be my reply.
Okay. All right.
Moving on to Shodan.
Yeah, moving on. Do you want to get started with Shodan?
Yeah. So up on my screen, you can see a bunch of Shodan queries. And we did Google dorking earlier, and basically that is the art of taking these very specific queries and using them to find things that maybe aren't supposed to be exposed on Google. So what the point of this is going to be is we're going to take the same kind of formats, and you and I are just going to mess around on Shodan. We're going to see what we can find, and we're going to dig through some of these queries and see if any of them are actually viable. And we're going to hope and pray that none of them are Verona's customers or people that will sue us.
Right. And, before we start this, I have to ask the obvious question. Is this legal?
How's that obvious?
I mean, you got to wonder, like, because it branches off from the Google dorking as well. Like, we discussed how basically Google scanned all these services, and as long as you didn't have to have a username and password,
right,
you're pretty safe. Like, you're definitely not breaking them. But this seems it's scanning ports. Like, is there a certain line there that you need to be sure that you don't cross, or that you have permission to do so before you cross, or what would that look like?
Well, it depends on if you're a big white hat safety baby or if you're cool red hat pen tester, gray hat guy.
What the heck's a red hat?
It's like a red team guy that's also gray hat, but doesn't want to say gray hat so their boss doesn't get mad at them.
Okay. Sure. I've never heard that term before.
Yeah, well, I just made it up.
Yeah. Okay.
So
coining new terms.
Yeah, so basically, like, if you want to be really safe, then you can go to Shodan and you can see all the information they've scraped. So you don't need to actually go to that website or go to that thing if you don't want to make contact. And if you're an OSINT researcher, you should probably stop there. If you don't need to make contact in order to get the information, why would you endanger your investigation by like putting your IP address into the logs of this website? They're probably not going to check them, but like, who knows? Like, maybe they're looking for news organizations that are going to their website if you're a journalist. Like, so there are some reasons to stop and like not go any further. We're going to blow right past them, of course, because like we're just going to show you guys like what this looks like. But we are going to log into honeypots. My IP is going to be logged so many times during the course of this live stream because one thing that's true for Google Dorks, as we found, and is also true of Shodan, is there's lots of honeypots out there. And some of them announce themselves as such. Right. So if you scan it with Shodan, these are usually things that are designed to be...
Wait, announce themselves as such? Do they like literally say, hey, I'm a honeypot?
Yeah, you'll see it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so some of them are designed to catch automated attackers. So people who build bots that are targeting a specific SSH port. And this is basically, they put like a big FU like in the text of what's available that Shodan can grab. So a human can see like this is a honeypot, but a bot doesn't know that. So a bot will still go after it, and then that person gets valuable research data about what payloads they're using and what IP addresses they're connecting from. Right. So, and that's how threat research companies like make money. Like they do honeypots, they see what kind of attacks are happening, and they learn from them.
Okay.
So we're gonna just like mess up a bunch of that up. We're just gonna like run through some nets just for fun.
Yeah, of course. Sounds fun.
Yeah. So let's take a look at some of these queries. And also, I am using the paid version of Shodan. I just missed the like $1 or whatever it was, like
What?
sale. I know.
$1?
There was a sale, or it was like $10 or something, where you could get Shodan for really, really cheap, and I just missed it. But fortunately, Shodan, I believe, is available for free to press, which I did not know and is super cool. And I should probably confirm before I say, but I'm pretty sure they said that it's free for press. And I'm pretty sure that's why I have it for free. So if you are pressed, then it might be worth shooting the people at Shodan an email if this intrigues you, because, hey, you could probably use this for your work, and it might be interesting.
Yeah, so is there like a free trial version, or like do you have to pay for this?
No, there's a demo. So the free version allows you a certain amount of queries per day, but if you do a lot of Shodan research, you're going to blow through those pretty quickly. So you can just make 10 accounts if you want to, but it gets a little bit burdensome after a while, and after a bit, it's probably you either catch a sale and buy it, or just like cough up the money because it's awesome and it's worth it. Especially as a researcher, like you just use it a lot. So.
And you mentioned automated scanning. Is there just a web interface, or is there like an API?
Yeah, there's both. So you can write a Python program that uses Shodan to automatically find a bunch of devices that are vulnerable to a certain thing, or will accept a certain kind of connection, and then do whatever you want. So Shodan is frequently used as a lazy person's like way of automating an attack by just making it go out and find stuff all over the internet that's vulnerable to it. So yeah, like that's something you can definitely do. But then also we have the fancy nice web interface that's good for researchers, and it allows you to download like JSON data, so you can get the same data from the web interface. Okay. So I like to show off the web interface because while the Python
it's a lot prettier.
Yeah, like while the Python like wrapper for it is like awesome, like it's still like unnecessary. To
maybe towards the end of this we could like at least show like what the API kind of looks like, maybe even if no. Okay.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
Nice try.
Let us know in the comments if you really want to see that, and we'll do it on a future episode.
No, I just don't have it installed or prepared. And also I forget every single command.
Okay.
And actually I considered it, but the reason why I'm not going to is I have to type in the API key, and I'm lazy.
Oh, yeah, and then we'd have to blur that out.
Yeah,
we wouldn't want any of y'all to take our API key now.
Right. So if you guys want to get started with Shodan and you want to run some focused queries just to see how this works, first, I'm going to do some for you, so you can just skip those if they're not interesting. And second, we're also going to be drawing from a really cool list. This is by Jake Jarvis, and it is awesome Shodan queries. I noticed it was updated in April, so it's pretty new.
Pretty update.
Yeah, April 18th. And this is just a big long list of really cool Shodan queries you can do that show interesting stuff like a Samsung electronic billboard, a gas station pump collector, an automated license plate reader, which actually that is terrifying. And if these are open, like that's a huge violation of people's privacy. Traffic light controllers.
Oh, that seems a little dangerous right there.
Voting machines.
Yeah, I'm sure that's not going to be an issue anytime soon.
Telcos running Cisco lawful intercept wiretaps.
Am I?
Back to
is that what I think it is?
Yeah. Yes, it is. So lawful intercept is a lawfully authorized interception monitoring of communications in an intercept subject. The term intercept subject refers to a subscriber of a telecommunications service whose communications and/or internet-related information has been lawfully authorized to be intercepted and delivered to some agency.
Why is that just on the internet, though?
Because they buy them, just like anyone else, and they're just like, all right, we got this box that gets this guy's internet traffic, huh? And they're just like, sure thing, boss. And then they
just
plug
it in. Yeah, okay.
And then we can, like, let's do that one first, right?
Yeah. And so is it pretty common for there to be GitHub pages like this of, like,
Shodan search terms? Yeah, I literally had to just, like, pick the best one when I was coming up with this example. Prison payphones.
Hey, we should ring one of them up.
Tesla power pack charging status.
Okay, now that seems like potentially dangerous because, like, depending on what level of access you had to that, you could, like, overheat the lithium batteries or something catastrophic potentially.
Maybe. But, I mean, for now, it's just the charging status. So it's like
okay, so it's just like
But if there was a 0 day, we know exactly where it is on the internet now.
Right.
So if we discovered a way of escalating our privileges, or if we knew some way of doing so, then, like, boom, we've identified one.
So would this be a common attack vector for 0 days or brand new exploits?
Course. Yeah, because, like, commonly people will just look for scans for a certain port, and they're just like, whoops, like port, 69 is now suddenly like on fire.
Right.
Like obviously someone either finds it hilarious or like a nation state has developed an exploit
Right.
for port 69.
Now, in a previous video I did for Nullbyte, I talked about like setting up port forwarding and the fact that ports are just like a standard. It's not a rule. Like port 22 is often used for SSH, but you don't have to. And one of the things I actually brought up as a potential protection, albeit a small protection, is, if you're going to port forward SSH, do it to some random number like 9022 or something like that. How much would that really protect you from something like Shodan? Does Shodan have the capability to see what service is behind that port or just what port number is available?
I wanted to swear in response, but you already used our one swearing quota.
I'm sorry.
I'll just say, how much protection would changing your port afford you? F all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing really.
Nothing. So, and the reason being...
It's a baby blanket. Comfort.
Right. Well, I can just search for a string associated with whatever vulnerable device I'm looking for.
Okay.
And I'm not even looking on port 22.
Yeah.
I just find your device because I'm looking for a string that I know is running in the banner of it.
Okay.
And then like, boom, I find it on port 69. And I was like, oh, that's weird. And then I connect to it there.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, don't follow that. Well, I mean, it doesn't hurt anything to follow that piece of advice,
it still will
rely
trick
on
stupid
it.
people.
Yeah.
People that don't use Shodan will still be tricked. And people that are just looking on port 22 will still be tricked. And there's enough of those that like they'll probably be satisfied feasting on those people rather than go off into the weeds to find your stupid like port 299.
Right. Especially if you're like just a Raspberry Pi project or something that you are forwarding.
Yeah. No, it'll be some teenager that finds it, not a nation state.
Yeah, which I'm sure, I don't know that that's any better. Yeah.
All right. So we also have electric vehicle chargers. Maritime satellites.
Should we be accessing satellites?
It maps ships' locations in real time. Submarine mission control dashboards. Who has a fleet of submarines that is controlled? All right.
I really hope those are like autonomous.
Planet Visor refrigerated units. Whoa, we got to look at one of those. Wind turbines. Commercial vehicle GPS trackers, so we can actually So
you could literally monitor a whole fleet of trucks if you wanted to.
If you found an exploit on one of these fleet trackers, again, if you found an exploit, this will point you to exactly where they are, and yes, you can do whatever bad thing to all these trucks in real time. Basically, we're finding the IP address of trucks.
Yeah, well, I mean, I could
goes right back to our trucking episode.
Yeah. Oh, hey. Looping everything back in.
Not enough people have watched that episode. If you guys haven't watched the Trucker OSINT episode,
it's secretly really good, especially the Maltego towards the end.
X-ray machines.
Why does that even need to be internet connected?
Electricity meters.
Okay, that's a little understandable.
Siemens industrial automation equipment for heavy machinery.
Why? But
door/lock access controllers. Boop, just lock them.
When you want to play Mr. Robot.
Railroad management.
Yeah.
Why should I be able to manage the railroad? Look, these are so enticing. Remote desktop. So unprotected VPNs.
No way.
Windows RDP. Come on, people. We've scoped dashboards. I barely know what that is. MongoDBs. Hey, exposed databases.
Yeah,
that's not good.
Know.
Mongo database web GUI. So you can just try to log right in. Jenkins. Those are fun.
What's Jenkins?
Jenkins is for breaches.
Oh, okay.
It's just some web stuff that people set up wrong.
Yeah.
Docker. I hate Docker because I don't understand it. Pi-hole. Oh, look at that. Your Raspberry Pi project is a primary thing to look for.
Yeah.
Let's find some dumb pies and let's see that.
Oh, hey, that would be fun.
What's the default password for a we can't do that because it's illegal.
Oh, so the default password for those is randomly
That's
generated.
the answer to Michael's question, by the way. As soon as you go and log into one of these things where it requires a username and password, it can literally be written on it and say username, password. But as soon as you log in, you're doing something bad and you should feel bad.
I mean, it would be...
And also, it's illegal.
Just as a thought exercise, it would be pretty easy to do it. But it's not like username and password are just Pi and Raspberry. It's it generates a 6-digit string.
So this is a string for an already logged in as root telnet. That might be legal.
Wait, why?
Because telnet doesn't require authentication. Yeah.
That's some big brain stuff going on there.
Yeah.
I almost slipped up.
Yeah.
Gotta watch myself.
Android root bridges. I don't. Oh, so like someone's like rooted their phone. I don't serial to Ethernet adapters leaking telnet passwords. Beautiful.
Yeah. Like seriously, you
virtual
have to
applications, Cisco
why.
smart installs, IBX phone gateways, video conferencing. This is all so fun.
Okay.
I'm sorry if you guys are bored of this list, but
Yeah.
I am not because it's shocking.
But so when we're seeing these,
Microsoft Exchange,
is this like just one-off instances of each of these,
no,
or
we're
are there
gonna try
like
some.
hundreds of
network
these?
attached storage? That's great.
Wow.
FTP servers with anonymous logins.
Of course.
Buffalo Terra Station NAS drives. That's big.
We
ones.
should just go to those FTP servers and just drop random files in there.
No.
Like,
well, actually, we could
drop like our live
it's probably
stream, do a little
It's probably
promotion.
a honeypot. Plex dashboards, webcams. We're gonna do these. Y'all cams, webcams, Android IP webcam servers, security DVRs. Well, we've got a little delay, so it's fine. Printers and copiers. We can print stuff out. We can send. You know what you can do from this? I don't know if this is legal or not, so I'm not going to do it. But you can print. You can mash the test button from this interface on a lot of printers, and it just like prints out just like test pages.
Really?
It's super
Holy.
annoying.
Wasn't there like a major deal like a year or two ago where they printed out a bunch of stuff?
Yeah, some dude basically figured out that he could use Shodan to locate all the printers that used a certain protocol, and then just like sent them all a message that told them to print up just bunches of black toner. That he just like emptied like lots and lots and lots of printer ink just because he figured out where all these printers were and then sent them a simple command.
That would be like the stupidest ransomware attack ever. Just like print out a page that has like some stupid ransom demand and see if anyone pays it.
Speakers, smart stereos, home controllers, 3D printers.
Hey.
Love it. I went to a hacker space that had Octoprints that were just had default logins. It was terrible. Ethereum miners, that's useful. Why would you leave that open? Apache directory listings.
How long is this list?
TCP quote of the day. Yeah, love it, love it. So what was the spiciest one to you? I vote submarine control.
Sure, why not? I mean, if we don't find anything super interesting there, we can always
submarine mission control dashboards. I don't want this to be real. So, all right, we can see the first thing that I did. We'll start with this, actually, because I already did the search.
Okay.
You can see this is a result from...
yeah, can you go over like what we're looking at here?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah,
so
sorry.
this is the search term that we put in. It's just a string. It just says server, Prism View player. And this is a string that's going to be in the actual like banner of one of these devices we're looking for. So we know one thing about it. It's going to contain this string, and it's going to contain exactly this string. And after that, we can run a search.
Okay, and when you say banner, what exactly does that mean?
A banner is a list of information that's displayed upon request by anyone trying to go to that website.
Okay, so it's like I make like a GET request for that page, or if I make some kind of request, it's just the first thing that's sent back.
Some tiny gremlins run out on the internet, grab it, and pull it back, and they return with a banner.
Gotcha.
I don't totally
understand. Like,
I mean, like I've learned about it in like networking class, and I've already forgotten about it. So let's just say it's a small piece of information that's included when the website is scraped by Shodan. So we're able to see some basic information about like if someone were to try to go to the website, the result they would get back.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
So yeah, so what we're seeing here then is a little bit of information. So we run the search and then we get some results back, and we can see first of all where the results are. So most of them are in the United States. We have one in Mexico, one in Canada. We have the services that are associated. So this is independent of port, what services are available. And then we see the organizations. So we see AT&T Internet Services. These are the ISPs that are involved.
And so is that distribution affected by the fact that it's an English string? Like if I were to type like in Hindi or something?
This is a product for the United States. So because the target market for this product was the United States, you'll see them in the United States, Canada, and
okay,
Mexico.
So does that mean like it doesn't scan the ports of machines in other parts of the world, or
no,
just
Dingus, the product is only for the United States, so that's why we're only seeing in the United States.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So on here, there's 70. We see a bunch of different IP addresses on the left side, and then below we can see like a network name. We can see Tesla's communication is the internet service provider. We can see when it was added, and we can see where. In this case, Canada. So this is what we're going to do. On the right side, we see the response. So this is basically when it tried to visit it, it got a 200 OK. We see the server is a Prisma player, so that's some useful information. That's the device we're basically messing with. We see the date was Friday, the 29th of May, so that was really recent. The content type was text to HTML. Let's say this is the one we want. So we click on it, and we're going to get a whole boatload more information. So first, ports. So if you put your SSH on port 696, then this is where it's going to show up, and we'll see it here. But we'll also see services. And that will tell us exactly like what it's actually doing. So we can still search by services even if we're not looking by port. But you're right; these are generally fairly standardized. So if we're looking at port 81, do you know what port 81 is?
HTTP.
Yeah. So so we have 80, 80, 80, 81, and 80, 81 are the 4 default just open like web interface ports that you'll see open anytime there's a web interface hosted on like a IP camera or like anything that you need to log into to administer. So these are the ports you're looking for if you're looking to get into, like an actual web interface. So look at what Shodan gives us. It says,
what's the map at the top? Is that just like it trying to render the IP?
Yeah, the geolocated IP address, which of course is just general. So it's somewhere, somewhere around.
So that could be like the server of the ISP or something like that.
It is, yeah. So this is the internet service provider of that area, and it's as specific as possible, but it could be in Sherwood Park or something like that. Like it's really not too specific. So we can see all the information presented here, but we also see this arrow. Guess what that does?
Does it take us to that port?
Very smart. It sure does.
Hey, look at me. Smart production.
I take back that dingus comment. All right, so I'm gonna
professional dingus.
That is not your job title. All right, so here we have an example of a Prisma Viewer player, and we basically can see the current output. So we can see what the sign is doing. Now I found another one, and this one, I think it's this one.
And so does that have any kind of control? Like, it just shows.
It just says wash your hands. Yeah, so on some player, maybe like a freeway overpass or something, this is playing this message, which I bet it is a freeway overpass or something. But we can just go through it if we really want. We can see what images are being displayed on these IP addresses. And if you really want to cheat and you're just like, Shodan, you're too slow, you can just copy this and go here.
Oh, really? That makes a lot of sense.
I'm just lazy,
Yeah.
Or maybe it doesn't
work. Is it maybe a different port?
Well, let's try it. 22 to 80. So I'll just
Hey, look at me using that big brain.
443 is what?
Wait,
port 443 is what? Big brain.
What do I look like? A network engineer?
You look like a big nerd. All right. No, that's SSH.
What? Really?
No, it's not.
No, I was like, that's
SSL.
22.
So so this is HTTPS.
Okay.
So here we can see that we have the
No, why is it we're getting like, is this a router? Like, why are we getting
this is
a
the
router
backend.
and
So
the
we
side?
have multiple ports we can access. This is 443.
Okay.
If we go to 80, then look at that. We have this. And let's see what's playing. Black. It's playing black. Why would it do that? But anyway, we can see there's multiple things here. So this one has a lot of activity. We have port 80 open, port 443 for administration, and that one's secure.
They really wanted to make this open source, just give you all the information.
Well, open source has a specific.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
I was joking, but yeah.
Subject key identifier. So we can even look at the secure like key for this and look to see if it's reused in other places. We have port 8080. So what the hell is there? Let's find out.
Maybe a control panel.
Another control panel.
Yeah.
And then we also have port 8443. Look at this wacky port. What is that doing? Security risk ahead.
Is it a honeypot?
The website proved their identity via credentials. Firefox don't trust the site because it uses a certificate that is not valid.
This is burner computer, right?
Let's do it. I like that this is like a very gray option. I don't care. Just go. Download virus.
Yeah.
Sorry. This virus.
Computer, do what I say.
Yeah, the virus isn't downloading. Disable safety.
Is that really what you have to click?
Well, no, I'm allowing it to run arbitrary JavaScript on my computer.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, yet another interface. All that trouble for another. Okay, so I'm getting bored of this, but you get the general idea. I'm really here for the maritime command. I don't know if we
I was going to say, can we go more in depth on like what tags and parameters you can actually use up there?
Sure, let's find some boats. That's what I heard.
Okay, I mean, yeah.
All right. Fleet mission control. How many could there possibly be? Well, there's 4. 2 in the Republic of Korea, 1 in Japan, 1 in Spain, and 1 in Canada. Those all seem like countries that would like reasonably have, like the ability to control some submarines. So we can see that these are they seem non-military. It's at the University of South Florida.
How are there non-military submarines?
There's lots of non-military submarines. It's 2020.
Like, I guess there's submersibles, but
there was a rich guy in Europe that just had killed someone on his own private submarine.
That's bizarre. The world's bizarre.
Yes. All right, so here we go. We got a St. Petersburg-based university. Oh, St. Petersburg, Florida.
Okay, I was like Russian subs, you say.
Yeah, and we can see that this is the glider server.marine.usf.edu. So there's port 22 open. Great. There's port 80. What the heck is this? So we can see it's Engine X.
Mm-hmm.
We'll open this. Let's see what's here. Okay, so we can just go ahead and brute forcing the fleet mission control, which seems like a bad idea, and we're not going to do. And it basically, if there's been any problems or 0 days that's happened since 2018, it's pretty clear from just looking at this website that it hasn't been updated since then.
And now, so if for whatever reason you were doing a project or something and you did need to port forward for your use case, what would you implement to help protect your server from something like Shodan? Like, could you do like rate limits on password guessing, something like that?
Yes, I would do that. You could do rate limits on password guessing. Aside from that, you could do your wacky, change the ports thing to throw out
it's not really
people.
going to do much, but it's
It'll
going to get dumb people. Yeah.
And then, aside from that, don't port forward stuff you don't need to.
Yeah.
Just don't connect stuff to the internet. You don't have to. That's
okay.
Or there's other ways of doing it that don't leave your port exposed.
I was gonna say
you could have a virtual private server that's you're connecting back to, and that has a port open or something like that. It's just
is there some kind of key exchange?
Oh well, for sure. If you're using SSH and you're using a password and you have it exposed to the internet, stop. You should be using a key file instead. Key files are more secure, and they'll make it so that someone with a password list can't just brute force your stuff super easily. So definitely, if you're using SSH, especially, do not have a password. And of course, if you're running any service that requires you to port forward, you always need to make sure that the default passwords have been changed every single time for everything. So if you've port forwarded, great, cool. You started some development server, you start working on it, guess what? It's available to the internet. Anyone can start messing with it at any time, and they will because of Shodan.
Yeah, so, and it seems really important, to not to fool yourself. I could easily see someone thinking, oh, hey, this is just a little, weather station project of mine. No one will find this,
And soon enough, it's being used to attack some random company by a third party.
It's being used as part of a botnet, so...
Yep.
Always be mindful if you're port forwarding. It will get found. It's just a matter of time. Mm-hmm. Probably even within minutes, right? How long does it take to get found?
I would say between minutes and hours to have people start doing stuff. If you want to have a bad time, just go ahead and open up a poor Raspberry Pi with default creds to the internet and see what happens.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's just going to be part of a botnet in 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure one of the writers on Nullbyte has a article on making an SSH honeypot out of a Raspberry Pi.
This is the worst webcam I've ever seen. I came here for the webcams, people. What is going on?
What kind of webcams do you usually find? Is it security cameras or?
Well, this one says boobs, so let's open it.
Please don't give me anything else to blur.
I'm kidding. It's just port 8008. It just is an unusual port, and I was intrigued.
Interesting.
But no, there seems to be. This is a cloud service data center. I don't really.
Yeah.
It bores me, and it also is confusing. Oh. But this also
does it give you a preview?
Yeah, it gives you a preview. So here's a Yawcam. We can see what it looks like. It's on port 88888. Clever.
It just looked at it was aimed at the ceiling or something.
Yeah, but maybe it's different. That was just a screenshot of like a certain point. It could still be pointed at the ceiling. It could be pointed elsewhere. So Shodan's done this awesome new thing where if you want to look at webcams, then they'll take a little screen cap for you, and you can decide whether or not it's worth it to even wait for it to load, as I'm doing here through a VPN. So if I go through, some of these have automatically generated ones, some ones don't, but you can pretty much rely on the ones that do have automatically generated ones to work. And the internet's so slow today. But come on.
So what happens when you live in a house full of hackers, right? Everyone uses up the internet.
This is true. All right, so these are mostly in China. And that's, here we go. Oh, this is exactly what I was hoping for.
That's
we have a
man.
Creepy. Yeah, we have a man in bed reading a book. Hopefully, we'll find out. Let's go ahead and check out this yacht cam in Blanding. Where's Blanding?
Hey, Google Maps.
You Google Maps.
Blanding.
What is your Google broken? Let's open it. Hey, and we have a man sitting in the darkness. That's great.
So is this just like the webcam on the why would that be? So is this like a compromised computer, or did they
No, this guy's just into it. He's just like, hey, look at me sit in the darkness on my computer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hopefully I don't have to blur anything.
Yeah, no, he's just hanging out on his computer.
It's Blanding, Utah.
So, yeah. Okay. Oh, Utah. Okay, yeah, that looks like Utah from the limited image I have. All right, cool. Well, let's go ahead and keep scrolling down, see what else we got. We have a floor. Oh, someone's put this on their 3D printer. So if we want to see what's this dude in Fort Myers printing right now.
That's a big old nerd right there.
Yeah, huge nerd. Let's find out what he's up to. Come on, nerd. Show us your prints.
Creepy eyeball.
Yeah, I like it.
You like that?
Yeah, it's cool. Yay! All right, so we've got some dude that's doing 3D printing, and this big nerd has added a freaking auto leveler. This is this dude is fucking
super 3D printer nerd here is getting super ideas.
I'm sorry, I just got very excited. This guy is rocking a auto leveler and a bunch of other custom stuff on his 3D printer. How cool! He's also got the same 3D printer as me.
Wow.
What a cool guy. Okay, well, this is initially interesting, but now I'm bored. So let's go ahead and move on to the next part of Shodan TV.
Okay. Shodan TV. I can definitely see like a big
Please purchase a Shodan membership in order to gain access to... I impress. All right, well, I'm not going to fight Shodan right now, but I will use a different search term. So we can see if we want to do Android IP webcam server.
Yeah, and so as we're searching these, can you go over like the tag? So server, what does that?
This is a string that just said server IP webcam server.
Oh, okay,
and this is a string that says 200 OK.
Okay, interesting.
Whoa, cool. This person's growing non-illegal plants in Germany, where they're not allowed to port scan. Let's go ahead and open this up, see what kind of plants are growing, and hopefully we don't have to call the internet police. Doop, boop, 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 boop. Browser. I learned how to use these webcams today. Look at that. We've got, I don't know.
Oh, wait, there's two-way audio?
What? Oh, no. Wait, where does it say that? Two-way audio. Okay.
Guten Tag!
No, shut up. No, Michael, no. We can hear them.
But two-way.
Yeah, but I didn't give it permission to listen to my...
Oh.
It can't hear me.
You're so boring.
I know. This is hilarious, though. So we can shout at these vegetables all day long, I guess, and we can also listen to the sound of these vegetables if we're really interested in it. But all right. So we found some vegetables. I'm frankly amazed we haven't had to blur anything yet. The guy in Utah made me very nervous.
Oh, yeah, I know. I'm going to have to add
just
a
micro. Just in general. And he made me nervous.
Yeah.
All right, so what else we got on Shodan TV? I'm also going to prep another security DVRs. Oh, I love these. All right.
So with the DVR, we'd be able to go back and watch historical video, not only the live cam then, right?
Provided it has no authentication, which is super
Is that common?
Yes, of course it's common. So what was it on?
Because why? Security. It's 2020. What's that? We don't need security.
IoT. The S stands for security.
Mm-hmm.
I like that sticker. Port 8080. Nothing. I don't get any sort of images. I don't get any vegetables. Nothing.
Maybe it's just loading slow.
Who knows? But anyway, I'm just going to go back and I'm going to run this new search that's just a different type of webcam. Because this is running an absolute, just gigantic amount of services, and I kind of feel like maybe it's just a honeypot anyway. Oh, you asked about honeypots. While this is loading, let's take a look at a honeypot.
Yeah, how can we identify a honeypot, I think is the critical question.
All right. Let's identify a honeypot. Oh, wait. Now I have to look for it again. That's lame. Fine. Let's identify a honeypot. Oh, well, first, okay, this is loaded. So we have a bunch of ActiveX stuff, and it looks like most of it is in Russia. I want to see what Slovakia looks like. So we can see there's a couple ports, 8001, 8002, and we see they're all kind of the same. So let's just take a look at them. I just want to see a little bit of Slovakia, you guys.
Hey, we got something coming. Where's the image, though?
I don't know. I'm just going to press buttons until something happens.
Disappointing.
Buttons. See, it's not asking me to log in, so everything's cool. I'm going to reload it. Nothing.
Maybe we'll find something spicy like that pan tilt zoom camera.
The pan tilt zoom was excellent and not typical, unfortunately. Yeah, look at this. What ultimate sadness. This is offering nothing.
Disappointing.
We go to 8001.
Maybe that camera was just offline.
Maybe this is the right port. Maybe this is just all a ruse and we're getting port scanned the entire time. All right, then we've got one more port.
Yeah, could you set up like Grabify kind of thing?
Yes, you absolutely could. What does this button do? Shut down the whole thing. Cool. All right. Well, hopefully that wasn't critical. I'm gonna get out because I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
We'll do this last one. Actually, no. Let's just do. Let's do. Okay. Port 8080.
Okay. So
no,
port
8081.
Okay. Cool. So the port just takes an integer and then it'll look for that open port.
Well, it takes a port number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any port number.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
Is there like a search where I can search for like SSH?
Yeah. There, I believe so. But we're going to do this first.
Yeah.
So here, I'm just doing port 8081, and then I'm just looking for webcam. That's it. I'm nothing fancy. And I'm just looking for if we have any of those sweet previews. You can see here, most of these are giving some sort of indication that, yes, they are, in fact, webcams. I'll try 8081. Ooh, the JPEG streamer. I got so worried with this image for a second. Okay.
What? A flower? You got spooked by a flower?
Okay, so this is a current snapshot. That is so boring. Wherever this is dark.
Yeah, it's probably nighttime there or something.
Okay, well, I'm disappointed, but I am pleased that it actually presented an image. So Romania is probably light right now, right? I know.
Maybe.
I'm so embarrassed about how little I know about that country, or at least the time zone that they're in.
Yeah, they're like, what, 8 hours ahead of us?
All right, and this is where we run into a problem. So Shodan will often lead us to places that ask us for username and password, and I'm going to press OK, and it's going to keep asking, and I'm going to, and okay, good, it's not letting me write in. Sometimes it'll just be like, okay, fine, and then it'll just let you in, but that didn't happen, so that's good.
Is it common for there to be like two interfaces, one for like when you get like a surveillance cam, so like one interface is just the like, okay, I want to look at this camera, and then the actual controls are like behind an admin panel or something like that?
Yes. So typically, oh wow, was that it? Okay. So basically, what happens here is like you get to a point where Shodan is going to limit you after you've done X amount of searches, and then you either have to use the API or wait a little bit before like running just an absolute ton of these. So
yeah. And what's the pricing like?
I don't remember.
I thought there was like if you go to the Shodan main website, there was a pricing. Oh, there it is. Right under the search icon. Left. Here.
You do it. Oh, pricing, right. Do.
Freelance. Oh, that's a little toyer there. Yeah, 15, a little pricey.
Yeah, $59. Up to 1 million results per month. Yeah. But the free version, I mean, obviously, I've been using the free version, I believe, because I'm getting limited and I shouldn't be. So I believe I've been using the free version. So like you can still do all this stuff and like learn about it without needing to do the free version.
Right.
So if we want to do something that's more just obvious, like honeypot, then we can type in honeypot. And I believe I did that.
Now, is there any other services that do the same thing as Shodan, but that might be cheaper or free?
You can scan yourself.
Right. But there's no like like distributed group of people that all do like port scanning and then just upload it to a common server or something?
There's census. And okay, well there's my API key.
Okay, so we're gonna have to blur that.
Yeah, well that's why we have a delay. Well,
also I think you can change your API key because
well, whatever. Let me show you guys census. Not that census. I think it's spelled different. Census with a Y because they're a technology company. All right, so this is like an alternative to Shodan, kind of, sort of. And they allow you to do very similar scans. I actually haven't used Census too much, but basically researchers that use Shodan will also use Census a lot. Mm-hmm. I don't know what their pricing is like. I just know that there's some APIs and stuff you can use with them, and they basically also do this sort of thing. Okay. So we've reached the limit of our fun today with Shodan, unfortunately. Although I thought I had an API key that allowed me to do this for a little bit longer, but oh well, we actually hit our mark exactly. So if we had gone any longer, then we would have gone over time. So perhaps we will revisit Shodan another time, and maybe we will do some queries where we actually use the API and the interface.
That would be really
that's
cool.
like using command line instead of actually using the website, because it is really cool, but getting rate limited is annoying. So
yeah, command line seems really cool, especially if we could make even like a basic Python program that just demonstrated some basic requests and interfacing with that API, and then that would empower our viewers to do some awesome stuff.
Yeah, so you guys should definitely check this out and look at the GitHub repository we mentioned that has a bunch of different interesting Shodan queries, and take a look at all the weird stuff you can find there. But just remember, as soon as it asks you for a password, even if it's literally printed on the website, do not enter it in. That is the point where this does become illegal. If you're a researcher and you're worried about getting maybe having the person that you're researching detect you, then you don't need to actually go to the website. You can just click on the port number that you're interested in when you're in the Shodan search, and it will show you lots of information about it. And finally, if you want to, oh wait, go back to my screen for a second. Sorry.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so if you're budget conscious, go to Census, and then if you actually wanted to do some port scanning yourself, what would be a good tool for that?
Nmap or MassScan.
Okay. And those are just free open source tools on GitHub? I know Nmap.
Yeah. But yes. Okay. So now I'm in. So if you don't care about money at all, or if you just want to use the free version of Maltego, and you have a paid Shodan account, you can use Shodan in Maltego. So what's the name of what's a website? Give me a website.
nullbyte.wonderhow2.com.
We're not working for them right now.
What kind of website? Don't put me on the spot like this.
All right, Varonis.com.
Okay, yeah,
all right,
sure,
our website.
Varonis.
So here we're doing an entity. We're going to make it Varonis.com. And then when we right mouse click, I've added Shodan.
Are we hacking the Varonis?
No, we're not hacking the Varonis. This is not there yet. Okay. So one thing that's a little bit annoying is that certain transforms will allow you to use certain data types will allow you to use certain transforms. So I'm going to resolve this to an IP address. I'm just going to run all. Just do it. And hopefully this resolves to an IP address. Let's see if I can now, and I get information. All right, Shodan. Look at that. So nice. Shodan has a number of different transforms, and if I click this, I can see that I can do all this cool stuff, like run this to a certificate hash, where if I want to get the certificate hash and then look to see if any other websites share the same certificate hash, that's a way that I would be able to find other websites owned by the same organization. So let me just do that because it's cool. Hopefully I don't get rate limited. There's my API key again. Sorry that we have to load that.
Wait, what? Are you literally just trying to make work for me?
It's part of Shodan. Okay, so then we scroll down and look at this. Shodan didn't rate limit me. Thanks, Shodan. Instead, we got these two viruses. I'm just kidding. Oh my. Those are cert keys. So what we can do here is then right mouse. Well, actually, I haven't done this, so I shouldn't do it all crazy, but I can go into Shodan and then try to convert these to an IPv4 address. So basically look for other IP addresses that have this cert key. So I'm going to go ahead and run it. I don't remember these settings. Stop showing my API key, Shodan.
Did it?
I did it again. I'll stop soon.
So naughty.
Yeah, I know. Okay. So we have this running. Yeah, Shodan gives us more results. So now we have more IP addresses that have the exact same.
So what are we looking at exactly here?
Okay, so we started with Varonis.com.
Okay.
And then we went to Varonis's IP address.
Okay, so that's just like a server that their website's running on.
Let's see. Yeah, it's it's the server that hosts their content. And then from there, we got the certificate. So we basically got the
Like
security
SSL.
the SSL for it.
Okay.
And then we were like, hey, are any other IPv4 addresses using this certificate? Yes.
And what did we get? I can't see this. Very
Yeah, it found these ones. So let's take a look and see. So right now, this is just some random IP, but let's see if we can resolve this to a website. I'm sure it's something Veronis-y. So if we go back up, we don't need to use Shodan for the rest of these. We can just use regular stuff. So we can get DNS from IP.
Okay.
And we'll run this in order to... Ugh, that's so loud. Boop. Okay, it hates it. So let's try to do IP owner detail. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Lots of results.
Yeah, the mic didn't like that at all.
Oh, that's fine. All right, so what do we got?
Oh, wow, that's a whole boatload of stuff right there.
Yeah, we got a lot of
Some
information
phone
on
numbers,
this tiny,
emails.
tiny screen.
So is that like who's the registered person for like those IPs?
Yeah, I believe so. What I really want is to get domains using the MX and NS number. Be prepared. Oh, it hates it. All right.
What's that MSNX number? What is that?
Run all. Yeah, give me all the information. Excellent. This is why sometimes if you just get frustrated, you can just like mash
Can
buttons.
we turn the computer volume down just a smidge?
Nope, because we're done. All right, so we can see all these things that are basically associated with it. It's basically giving us information about other things that are using the same net block or other things that are using the same general infrastructure, which is pretty useful. So I'm not going to go too much further into this. I just wanted to show you guys that if you are looking for other ways to use Shodan, then you can do it with tools we've already covered, like Maltego. Although we should probably do another Maltego piece.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like this warrants a whole live stream of its own.
Yeah.
But if you want to see that, let us know in the comments.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so that's going to wrap us up for Shodan today. We set out to show you just in the website, but obviously there's a little bit of rate limiting. So if you want to go ahead and step it up and use your Shodan API key, please don't use mine, in Maltego, then you can go ahead and do that. And it greatly enhances your ability to maybe find other websites that are associated with the particular website you're investigating, or just do other creepy Shodan things like discover all vulnerable devices running a certain port.
Hack a submarine.
Hack a submarine.
You know,
a submarine command center panel.
Mission control.
Mission control. That's right.
Don't want to mess that one up.
Yeah, so please do not hack into any mission control centers that you find, but Shodan is really cool. So if you're interested in this, then hopefully you have found this to be something you can take a little bit of a spring off of and find some interesting things to talk about, because we have found a lot of weird stuff on Shodan.
And who do we have to thank for this episode?
Oh, well, today we have Michael to thank for the... Just kidding. Michael doesn't have any money. Instead, we have Veronis to thank for this episode. So if you like this content, make sure to check out their cyber attack workshop. It is a really good way of understanding how even if hackers break into your system, you can still detect them no matter what. So you should basically at this point assume that hackers are going to get in at some point, and it is a really good way of understanding how in a company that has the right assets, they can actually get caught. So also, if you like this content, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel that we have all this on. It's youtube.com/c/security_FWD. We have all of the recorded streams there, so you can check them out whenever you want, and we have quite a lot of them now. So make sure to subscribe, leave us comments, let us know what you want to see in the future. And if you have ideas, you can also hit me up on Twitter. My Twitter handle is @CodyKinsey.
_Hoyd.
His full legal name as well. And so thank you guys for joining us, and we hope to see you next time.
Yeah,
Bye.
see you next time.